always looking for ways to make Christmas extra special for everybody, even Santa. So if you're looking for one more amazing cookie to bake for Santa, look no further than my best friend Abby's salted caramel chocolate chip cookies.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for stopping by at the Peppered Peach today. We're gonna be making salted caramel cookies. It is something that I love. They're my favorite cookies. Everyone loves them. Literally all the time they want these salted caramel cookies. I am not joking when I say that. I actually got this recipe years ago from a Food Network Christmas special for holiday cookies, and this one has stuck. It is amazing, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So we have everything here. Let's get this party started. All right, so our first step before we do anything at all is to get our chocolates ready. Now I use these Ghirardelli. They're the dark chocolate, sea salt chocolate, caramel squares. This is very important. I did this recipe for with one of my friends. He's an anchor in New York, and I did this on a show, and he actually got the wrong ones. And I'm calling you out, Danny, because he got caramel chocolates, and he needed to get the Ghirardelli sea salted caramels. Okay, this is very important. This is not an ad. They do not pay me for this, but these are very important. Okay, so we're gonna take these out. Mind you, these have been in the freezer, so make sure you get these in the freezer as soon as you buy them. Throw them right in the freezer because we need them to be hard. That way we can chop them up. And what I do is I actually always have these ready to go. I actually have a batch in the freezer already, so that I always have these frozen chocolates ready at my disposal. So I'm just gonna show you real fast what I do here, but I chop these up and I put them into little squares, just like this. And I'm gonna put them in this bowl, and these will go into the freezer until I'm ready to use them. And this is just such an important part. Please make sure, yes, they are a little bit more expensive. Yes, they do, they do cost more, but the taste is where it's at. This is what you need to use. So these are all gonna get chopped up and thrown in the freezer. Now, in the recipe that I have from the Food Network magazine, it doesn't say to get the Ghirardelli, but having tried other ones, not the same. So the Ghirardelli is where it's at. So I'll chop these up and throw these right in the freezer. Again, if you have a container that you don't care about, that it can stay in the freezer forever, always have these ready to go. So these are also cookies that I always have ready, frozen, so that I can always use them. Okay, so when I make these cookies, I go through about 2 bags. So make sure you get 2 of these bags, chop them up, and then you can add as many of these morsels to the dough or the batter as much as you want. So if you want them a little less or you want them a little more, it is up to your discretion. But this is where it's at. Let's get these in the freezer, and we'll come back and start combining our ingredients. All right, now it's time to combine all of our ingredients. So we have 1 stick of unsalted butter. Throw that in there. We have 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Ooh, who wants to come out? Anyone? Oh, there we go. We have 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. We're gonna mix this together first. Now, last week we made the chocolate chip cookies from Magnolia Cookbook, volume number 1. And this is a very different recipe in the sense that we're using white sugar, granulated sugar, as well as brown sugar. So the recipe from last week had 2 cups of sugar, of brown sugar. So this is very different. And also the chocolate is, like I've mentioned, I emphasize that so much. So if you did not get that, the chocolate is the most important part of this. All right, and we're gonna add in 1 egg. We're gonna mix this up. I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. It's gonna get the sides down a little bit. Okay. All right. So now that's going. We're good with the wet ingredients. Now let's get our dry ingredients going. And we have 1 3/4 cups of flour. Then we have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and actually some table salt. Believe it or not, just a pinch. So we'll just mix this around. And then let's add this to our wet ingredients. I'm just gonna do it in little halves here. All right, now let's get the last half in. Now, you're wondering, why do I have this Maldon sea salt here? Well, what happens is there's a very important last step to these cookies, and that is once the cookies are out of the oven, you sprinkle this Maldon on top. And let me tell you, it makes the cookie. I already know there's salt in there and there's sea salt, chocolate, but that extra salt on top just does wonders. So, all right, this is ready. The dough is ready to go. Now we have our chocolates hanging out in the freezer. So let's grab those. I'm gonna clean this out and we'll combine it. All right, so we have our chopped up Ghirardelli squares. I was not joking when I said I have a container living in the fridge. I'm sorry, the freezer. So this, you can put in as many of these as you want or as little as you'd like. I do about 1 cup to 1.5 cups, depending on the dough. So I'm gonna put in this much. I'm gonna swirl it around and I'll show you in a second. And sometimes I do get in there with my hands because it is easier. Because this is hard and it's frozen. And there we go. All right, let me use my hands so I can really mush this together. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Now look, here's my dough. All right, it's nice and spotty. I might put actually a little bit more in of the chocolate, but it's really up to you. So just gauge it how much chocolate you want in there. I'm just gonna do like another spoonful of this and I'll mush it in. Sometimes when you have the caramel in there, it does stick together and becomes clumpy. So that's why I like to use my hands to just break it apart a little bit. So it gets everywhere. But, okay, look at that. Bam, ready to go. All right, let me get a pan ready and we'll try these out. All right, guys, it is time to make our cookies. I am going to use my hands, it's easier. Sometimes I go through phases of making them a little bit bigger, sometimes a little smaller. I also try not to make them too perfectly round because I like when they settle. So we'll make some of these. And as we all know, I take these, and I will freeze these as is. I will take them as in their balls and I will freeze them. And I always have them ready to go. Whenever I have someone coming over unexpectedly or I need to go over somewhere or someone's just not having a bad day, these things do wonders. Right. And I have the oven at 375, I think. Nope, it's at 350, so I gotta go up to 375. And these will go in for about 7 minutes. And that may seem not enough time, but I am one to like them I like them soft and I don't like them crunchy or hard. So I take them out a little earlier and they still are cooking a little bit when they come out. So, all right, here we go. Let's get them in the oven. We'll be back in 7 to 8 minutes. All right, guys, it's been about 8 minutes. Let's pull out our salted caramel cookies. Okay, now the thing that we need to do immediately is we're gonna take this Maldon salt and we're just gonna flake it on top. It'll stick to the chocolate pieces. And that's it. All right, we'll check them out in 2 seconds. All right guys, it is time to try these amazing salted caramel cookies. Nice and gooey and perfect. Let's go. So good. I love these. These are my favorite chocolate chip cookies. Of course, we have the original, the OGs, right? With just the regular old morsels. They're great, but let me tell you, the second you have this, you are never gonna wanna go back to a regular old chocolate chip cookie. Trust me, I'm still gonna eat them. But these are next level. So if you do make it at home, I'd love to know what you think about it because this is something that is always around. For me, in our house, all of our friends, all of our family, this is what they rely on when they come and see me. So if you make it at home, let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Love you all. See you later. Bye. Well, I say mine. I got them from a book from Food Network, blah, 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 blah. It's all the chocolate. Oh. I wasn't kidding when I said I have them ready to go. Why did I just do that? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, still perfect. Still good.